Hi everybody, it's Miss Carol again, and I'm really excited to be back with you today. And I'm particularly excited to share this book with you because it was one of my children's favorites, and my daughter Lyra is turning 30. So this is a really fun chance to read her book one more time and introduce other people to it as well. The book we're going to share today is called Where the Wild Things Are. It's by Maurice Sendak. He did both the stories and the pictures. Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, nailing things to the wall, and another, oh my goodness, he's chasing the dog with a fork. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew and grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars. Can you roar like a wild thing? Roar! And they gnashed their terrible teeth. Let me hear you. Roar! And they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. And they made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. You're ready to have a wild rumpus? Da rum bum bump, rum bum bump, rum bum bump bump ba rum. Dun 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 dun. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be back where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away in the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars. Let me hear you. Roar! And gnashed their terrible teeth. And rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. And that is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Now, you can become a wild thing of your own. It's pretty easy. I'm sure you can find a tail. This is a belt from somebody's closet. And you can make a crown so you're the king of all wild things. You can do that. Your family probably has a spare file folder. Ask first. And you can cut that file folder into 2 crowns like this, just by cutting like that. And if you need the extra length, if you just cut a couple of strips of cardboard off the top. That will make your wild thing. And then your wild thing crown. And then, of course, you can decorate it with markers or buttons or crayons or construction paper or anything that you find around your house. You can also make wild thing puppets. And again, all you need is a small paper bag. And then because I didn't have any construction paper around, I used an old magazine. Again, make sure that your family says okay before you start cutting it up. But then you can just cut strips and circles and all sorts of other shapes from it. And then you can glue them onto your bag. I made a couple of circles or semicircles. Oops, one just fell off. Now it's a one-eyed monster. Here we go. Two-eyed monster again. And then I made a little couple eyeballs as well. And then I started making some monster hair. And you can do that by just taking a strip of paper, and if you just fold it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you get this squiggly. You can make it for hair. It could be a nice funky arm, so it has some wiggly arms. I made out a tongue out of a curl, and you can make a curl again. Just take a strip of paper, roll it right around a magazine, a pencil, and then you pull it right off, and voila, you will have a tongue or curly hair or whatever you want for your funky monster. And then you can act out this story again. You can tell the story yourself, or you can play this video again, and instead of watching me read it, you can act it out and play all the parts, or get your sisters and brothers or puppets or your stuffed animals to play part of the parts as well. So have a wonderful time. Enjoy this terrific story, which won the Caldecott Medal for its illustrations. And I'll be back again to read another story with you soon. Take care now. Bye now. Roar!